Hi guys, this is Dave Bennett with Mooji-pro and Theme to HTML. It is August 14th, 2014, and I want to show you something amazing. We've really come a long way, and I want to point out where we're going next. It's just new level. Okay, first of all, Theme to HTML has come a long way, right? The guys who are getting it are not asking me support questions because they know how to use it intuitively. It's very easy. I get very, very few questions. All I get are feature requests and new features. But people have put these websites out. They are ranking. They're getting sales. They're easier to work with than WordPress, more secure than WordPress, and less glitchy, by far less glitchy. I've had guys who say, I've been using WordPress 8 years now and I'd rather use this once they started using it. And I've had guys who don't know anything about websites start using this and say, that's all I needed. This is just the most incredible website. And that's cool. I like it. Now, as far as going in the back end, of course, there are certain themes that we have, and you know how that works. If I flip between themes and refresh, you can see different themes. And some guys would start off thinking, well, you're waiting for us to create themes. Nah, these are just examples, as you know, probably know by now, is that you don't need to wait for us to put out themes because it's really the same thing. It's just you flip stuff off or on. You flip on or off the cities we serve in the back end. There's a button to turn this section on or off depending on your desire. You can flip on or off this section down here, right? You can even flip on or off the whole Our Services section here, okay? Um, and then for any of the other stuff that's here in the left menu and at the top, all you have to do is change the colors, change the images, and change the verbiage, and you have a whole new website, right? So, by the way, if you see this edit page link, it's just a cool feature for when you're logged in. When you log out, then that disappears, right? Nobody else can see this except whoever's logged in at the time. All right, having said that, let me just show you what people have been putting out. Take a look at this. I mean, this is just interesting, the different things that people are doing on their own. Stuff I haven't seen before, and it's a lot of fun to watch this, right? I see people just sticking stuff in here and figuring out what they can do and what they want to do with this page, and it's just stuff I never would have thought of. So there you go. There's that. Now take a look at this. Body by VI Challenge. Again, same thing, but just set up in such a way that it'll do whatever it is that you want it to do. Look at this. This template, it looks good. It acts good. By the way, if you're wondering about this email block, you don't even have to have it in there. The email block can be replaced completely with just two more images like these, okay? So that you can sub-define your market according to how they find you, right? And so you can do this for anything you want. Let me just show you another one, you know, and it's just what would you like it to be in, say, and you can literally pitch whatever you'd like, okay? And it's fun to see what people are putting out. Here's one that's just having to do with horse betting, right? Has nothing to do with any kind of a brick and mortar business. Same with the magnetic bracelets, really. It's something to sell, okay? And then people doing their own design. What else do we have? Make some money real fast. Some project here for doing that. That can be just your typical MLM program all by itself, okay? So there's that. Then what? Heck, we've even got a guy going very big with freight forwarding logistics and so forth. I thought that was interesting. And so there's this idea here. Why choose a certain freight forwarder? Interesting. Very interesting stuff. Okay. What else have we got? Guys doing different things for industries that can use it. You know, shutters and blinds. That's interesting. I like seeing this. This looks really good. Okay. And so all of this is just modifying themes that we already have. Okay. So there's your cleansing mask, day cream cleansing mask for men, facial fluid for men, whatever. And this is just a really good way to go. It's very simple to create these, to get the images up, to change the colors, and to put these websites out. It's not hard to do. That's what makes this very, very useful. And again, you know, you can do pretty much whatever you want once you have a good idea. Okay? And there you go. Now, another thing I want to point out, the next thing, okay, and it was just fun kind of walking through these and letting you see some of these. This is very, very cool. All right, another thing I want to point out is that you can do Mooji runs on these things. If I look on here on Google, there's 141 pages on this website. Of course, it doesn't look like it. There's home, and then it's these. They elected not to have a menu, actually. They thought that was too confusing. Just let the images here do the talking, and then pass the images here doing the talking and leading you to whatever it is, okay? Let these do the talking, step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, right? And so this is very good. Good points. Okay. Now, and anyway, what do I want to say? I want to say if we take a look, there's just a bunch of pages you can have for anything. Now take a look. They're Mooji pages, okay? But they may not look like Mooji pages, okay? But they are. I mean, this is Mooji right here, right? And these things work. They take you to wherever it is you're supposed to go next. So you can create a bunch of pages that go for different keyword combinations that capture people for different concepts. Some ideas to look youthful, training system, a few strategies, prevent chronic dehydration, review, old school, new body is the name of the thing. And it's just pages of good stuff like this. This is the standard now. The way to use Mooji is with theme to HTML to create pages that pitch the right way. It pitches this, it pitches that. It pitches 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. It uses the banner to indoctrinate you on the ideas. And it's got the menu link up here. And everything goes right where it's supposed to go. And if you have videos, they can play in the side. If you have a testimonial section, it can be in the side. If you have a Facebook fan page, it can be in the side. So far, so good, right? Now, I'm going to show you something even much bigger here pretty soon. We're going to look at Roto-Rooter and discover something in a minute. I'm just showing you other stuff. 282, electronics, accessories, bookstore, young women's dresses online. You can, again, these are Mooji'd pages. And the form will work. The menu will work. It'll all go to the right places. Okay. These links work. All of this works. Page after page after page. Everything is correct and useful, and you can click through to wherever. It's all just set up however you want it set up. See? And that's awesome. So yeah, this is the new standard now, and people are starting to do it and realize how powerful this is. Now, here's the next question. What's the best way to Mooji something? Like, we come back down to this all the time, right? And that's going to be this. Here, I'll show you in a second. I'm going to flip here. How much duplicate content and what kinds of things do we want or need to change in order to canvas something really, really big? What if you wanted to take over for an industry, wanted to help them conquer the nation one city at a time with pages for each city or something like that? Well, in order to understand how far you can go with that, what do? You study nationwide cities, especially that have a franchise setup or something, and understand how duplicate content works for them. Here's Roto-Rooter, for instance. And so if I was going to open a franchise in my area for Roto-Rooter, and they allow me to do that, say there's no one here in this territory, and I get that right, then they're going to give me a place on their website. Okay, look at this, Dearborn Heights, Michigan plumber, and that's it, rotorooter.com/ guess what? Dearborn Heights, right? Can we do that in Mooji? Yeah, we can create the Dearborn Heights, Michigan, anything, plumber, whatever it is. Anything. It can even be affiliate groups for an MLM program. Okay, so you can find local people to work with. Okay, recruit locally or whatever it is. And then we can do this with the URL. And we can have pitches that do this and use the varied phone numbers. So call some phone number. Well, that can be a VAR that goes with Dearborn Heights, Michigan. We can do that. If I needed to set up 50 cities with 50 matching phone numbers right now and produce that on URLs that have this, I could do it. Okay, so that's the power right now. And you could do it with the theme to HTML template for anything I just showed you or anything else you want. Okay, let me continue to show you about duplicate content now. So far, we're not seeing a ton of duplicate content in the meta description. We're seeing some different variations, but then we start to see things repeat. Look, call this phone number for a plumber in Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Roto-Rooter does plumbing and drain cleaning 24/7 for all residential and commercial needs. Now what do we see? Something similar. Call this phone number for a plumber in Warrenton, Virginia. Roto-Rooter does residential and commercial plumbing and drain services 24/7, no overtime charge. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, how do you spell this? Oviedo, Florida? Call this phone number for a plumber in Oviedo, Florida. Roto-Rooter does residential and commercial plumbing and drain services 24/7, no overtime charge. A lot of duplication there, actually. And we start to see that a couple of messages are repeating over and over and over again. Let's take a closer look. because we have 1,460 pages that Google said yes to on the website. These are the pages Google said yes to. Let's take a look. Let's open one of these in a new tab, and open one of these in a new tab. Open one of these, and heck, let me just open a few in a new tab so I can go take a look at the pages, right? Let's compare how similar these pages are. First, let's just get a visual grasp of what we see here, right? Okay. All right. So we see, you know, their logo, phone numbers over here, schedule service online when that's available, I guess. This is what they're saying. The Dearborn Heights plumbing experts you've trusted for over 75 years. That's cool. Call Roto-Rooter today for a plumber in Dearborn Heights, right? And then it's got Dearborn Heights Plumbing and Drain Solutions. It's got some stuff here. It's got the smiling guy over here. It's got the form over here. And then you scroll down and you see this guy, his phone number here, his name, his image, his address. Could I take this and Mooji this page right now and only make certain things variable? Yeah, I can make the URL variable, as you know. I can make the title variable, as you know. I can keep everything the same, except I can make the phone number variable. Okay, I can make the Dearborn Heights here variable. I can make Dearborn Heights here variable and keep everything else the same if that's the idea. Okay. I can change anything inside the paragraphs that I would need to and leave everything else the same. I could make the name of the manager variable, the phone number variable, and the image variable, the address variable. Okay. And then customer reviews, whether there is one or not. You know, it's got to be a matter of where's this coming from, but yeah, that could be put in there. Okay. Now, having said that, and even this is a variable, so these can disappear or appear depending on the circumstance, and that can be variable. All right. Now, let me compare some of the writing here. Roto-Rooter plumbers in Dearborn Heights provide full-service plumbing maintenance and repairs and clogged drain cleaning 24 hours a day. What's it say over here? It says very similar things in some cases and somewhat different things. Let me see. Okay, there was no chat with a live agent. Now there is. Okay, that's an on-off switch. The phone number obviously changed. That Arlington plumbing experts you've trusted for over 75 years. The Dearborn Heights plumbing experts you've trusted for over 75 years. Okay, that's like a knockoff right there. All right, let me see. Call Roto-Rooter today for a plumber here. Okay, this is different. Arlington plumber providing emergency plumbing and drain service. Your source. Okay, and then it goes through some other stuff. But it's not all other stuff, is it? Trusted and recommended since 1935. Roto-Rooter is the premier provider of services, right? Trusted and recommended since 1935. Roto-Rooter is the premier provider of same thing, okay? Matter of fact, let me see. Call one of our customer service reps now. They did change it here. Roto-Rooter provides a default template, and then some people modify it. Let's see how many people modify it, by the way, because it's quite similar, right? That's my point. Some of these things change depending on the guy, some don't. Let me see. Roto-Rooter plumbers in Warrenton provide full-service plumbing maintenance and repairs and clogged drain cleaning 24 hours a day. That's exactly the same. Call Roto-Rooter today for plumber in Warrenton. Trusted recommended since 1935. Okay. A lot of that is very similar. Our specialty is emergency services. Our specialty is emergency services. A lot of this page is pretty much the same. Some things might change. The guy may have a bunch of links like this, right, for the individual cities that they service. And do you want to know what? When you go here, it's probably going to be pretty much the same thing again, because now it's got to come right into that city and keep going, right? Other than that, it says everything else basically the same. As a matter of fact, this may be identical to the page that came right before it, with the exception of the city name, right? If I try to do a back and forth on this, there's a bit that changes, but not a lot. Okay? All right. Having said that, Ovida. Oh, same thing now. It's a copy. It's a copy of the page, Providence. Now they got some more stuff in their page. Now, let me come back to where we can go with this point. We can Mooji smartly. What if you created a project for theme to HTML website, okay, that you did, and you went to Mooji, because by now you probably realize just how easy it is to do, right? If you've watched the videos, you've seen how easy it is to create the theme to HTML website, and then to turn around after that and Mooji that up, right? Okay. And what do I want to say? If I were to try to do that with a plumber, because you can do it with anything, but let me just start by making it easier that way. Okay. Where am I now? Pages. Go ahead and open one. Okay. If I were to take the plumber right now, what can I do? I can Mooji the phone number. I can Mooji the city, the state, the year to create variability. I could change the logo or leave it the default for now. Okay. I can leave most of this in here just the way it is because it's pretty much generic information. I could have sections like this the way they are right now. But again, by Moojiing the city and state, emojis down here. And what's my point really? Very few things that I might want emoji. Some basic concepts inside of the sentences. That's it. And then turn around and produce a 1,400 page website of my own that, for all intents and purposes, can compete with this. Might even be better than this. Why would I say that other than the fact that their name is better known? This page does a better job of getting everything right in front of you that you could possibly want to see, right? And we can do that. We can hook up each individual guy. We actually can, okay? And we can create the pages to do whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. But this is pretty amazing. How many of you have thought about that? Create a website, call it, who knows, best plumber in town, and then put subdomains on it for each city, okay? And literally be able to just put up pages that can benefit anyone, and then as they rank, go back through, use your rank checkers to check who's ranking. And whatever pages, whatever cities are ranking, guess what? Go on Google, find some of those guys who are on page 2, 3, 4, 5, and say, hey, you pay me, and I don't care what you sell it for. You've got 32,000 cities out there in the US. You can create a page for every city for a plumber, and you can sell that, or you can create a page for every major metropolitan area city, a page for every city anyway, and sell those city stacks together to a guy. And just simply, we're going to update the phone number for that guy, update the email for that guy, update a couple things for that guy. And guess what? I mean, this is on some website that you have if you wanted, or you can export and give them the website. But you can literally pre-rank nationwide for anything you want to sell, even MLM affiliate groups. If I were to come back to that, some affiliate program that I was seeing on this other stack here, because there's a bunch, there's money-making groups. You can go, like I said, and create pages that compete city by city so that you can actually compete nationwide, city by city, okay? Hello, might be right, not there. Huh. Right here. You could, if that's what you wanted, create something like this for an MLM program owner. And then what do? You take this to the program owner and say, hey, I can help you. Instead of trying to compete nationwide simply, I can help you by creating pages for every single city. And this stuff in here is going to say, find affiliates in your city to work with. Find other people in your city that do this program, And that's literally it. People can sign up, and it can be through your program. And guess what else you can do? Since you have your own downline, if that's what you got going on, you can create a replicating page of your own. Okay, and by replicating, I mean T to H with Mooji, any program out, and stick it out for every next guy, and just change out the link to that guy's link. All right, click here to start now. Is that guy's link? They can buy it from you, or it can be a perk that you give people when they join you, because you can say, hey, join through me, and I'll give you 100 pages like this for free on my website, but pointing at you. I'm just going to put them out here. Now, if you want on your website, whatever, you got to pay a bigger fee for me to export the site over to you. There's always good ways to word it. But do you see what's going on? We're going to step into new territory pretty soon where we're teaching people how to make websites that can possibly compete with things like Roto-Rooter. We've been working on the backlinking models in the background, website promotion models to drive them up in rank. These are things that are going to be appended to the production line, and they're going to exist for all the runs that go through there. And we are going to do a really intensive, cool training course with some people who can be on the inside and learn how this stuff can be done right. And that's going to be for the guys who get Mooji now or a higher level service. Right now, if you were to go to mowg-pro.com and you were to scroll down, okay, this is just the easiest way to do this. Then you can get the do-it-yourself own Mooji link. Click on that. And that takes you to the page where you can buy different things that we have for sale. Right now we've got a number of things up here because we've really been expanding our services and coming back around and pulling it all together at a new level. Like we can do your VAR sheets for you so you don't have to. We can do 2 or 3 or 4 that will belong to the same program. We can teach you and even do the linkage with you for backlinks, external linking, internal linking, and everything else. And stuff like this is stuff that we can do for you, with you, anytime. So if you want to get mowg-pro, okay, a primary license, right, get that. Right now, the deal is if you're getting that now, before the end of the weekend, you get a T2H admin panel in there. And that's through this weekend, okay? That's through Sunday. But that's it. And then that comes off. Right now, these things are for a special that's happening right now. You get T2H admin panel, free hosting. We'll do that. You just get a $15 domain and point it at us, and we'll tell you where. You can get we'll give you a dedicated IP address that goes with your hosting. All you need's, like I said, a domain name. We'll do a professional VAR sheet for whatever project you want to do. So if you want to do, I don't care what, anything of your own, like that, then we'll create a VAR sheet for you. If that's what you want to be the content, we'll do the VAR sheet for you professionally, okay? And give it back to you so you don't have to do it. You don't have to figure it out, all right? All you have to do is find some images you want. Go anywhere and get images. Images are easy to get, and just build them into your site. That's a piece of cake. Content. There are some people that say, what do you do for filler content if you don't have a lot of content? As a matter of fact, this is kind of neat. Chakra Body. I just grabbed on this website, I helped this guy out because he didn't know what kind of content he could put in here about Chakra. He just had like a one-page pitch. That's it. And he said, well, how do I get more pages? And I said, there's something called, and for me, it's big content search, okay? And this is something I'll teach you guys how to use on the webinars. It's actually really, really awesome when you get on the inside. What do? You just go in and type some keywords, and it will give you articles. You take the articles, you stick them in theme to HTML, make them another page, and then you just spin it real quick using the spinner. And then just do a quick last read. And what does it do? It gives you content. I'll give you an example. This page for Yoga for Businessmen. This came from that big content search because we needed more stuff to work with. Okay. Same thing with spiritual healing stones. So these are pages that are unique that came from somewhere else that we're using basically because we just wanted to fill the website out. Okay. And so you can really rapidly take a small website with 1 or 2 pages and make it a much larger website just by putting in useful information. And what can you do with these sites? You can do things like create external links to other websites just to say read more here and point to someone else who's not a competitor of yours, but just talks more about the topic. And when you do things like that, it increases your rank. Will I teach you how to do that? Yeah, just remember and ask me on a webinar if you don't know. It's so easy to do, especially with theme to HTML. And what's kind of funny is Yoga for Businessmen, I didn't realize was a topic. I thought, is that really a thing? And I went to Google and I looked up Yoga for Businessmen, and it's actually a thing. There's images for it. There's Huffington Post has got Businessmen Yoga. There's just all this stuff about it. Now, we just did this website recently. And I think I found it actually. Yeah, look at this. It's up here now. It was on page 8 the last time I looked. It's on page 2. It's been climbing. I don't know how. Maybe it'll stop here until we put some link juice into this website. But check that out. The guy's at the bottom of page 2 for a topic that already exists and has 627,000 Uh, results. Isn't that nuts? We're on page 2. We're on page 2 of the website we just created not long ago. This website's what, like a week old? Something like that. A couple of weeks old. All right, that's the point. So, guys, we are starting to step into really serious new terrain. And for guys who already have Mooji and theme to HTML, of course, you're welcome to come and learn. For those of you who don't, you are going to want to catch up. We're going to get more and more exclusive with time because it's going to be more and more fun teaching in tighter and tighter groups because we're starting to do more company stuff. I'm getting bigger companies contacting me. A very large real estate investment firm in Canada contacted me about doing stuff for them city by city. Because now that we're talking at this higher level, it's attracting a higher level company. And this is interesting stuff to turn our attention to. So anyway, if you want to get in so you can keep up with us. You can get onto our production line and work with us. You can do things for us or with us. There's stuff that we have going on that's big and we have more coming. Okay. So get either the Mooji software primary license or something better, bigger. Like if you get this, yes, we'll hook you up with everything too. There is no reason to tell you don't get this. This is a great idea. Our T2H production line will create the full-scale website for you and everything you need in the back end for you, and we will take care of getting the VAR sheet in order for you and setting up your Mooji pages. So you just hit a button and you turn your 15-page website into a website that has a page for every keyword. Not too big, not too small. Again, why is there 141 pages, not 14,000? Because we found like 135 keywords that are applicable beyond the main pages. And that's it. We created a page per keyword. That way it's not spammy. It's not too large. It's the right size. Okay? And same thing with other websites that have been done. There's landscaping's got 1,640 pages on it. You can bet that's got a point because beyond the sitemap links, when we're getting there, this is the different keywords in the different cities, and that's cool. This kind of a thing can ripen, grow, and if we put any kind of link juice into the site, then this guy's going to show up for a lot of related things all over the place. And that's just awesome. And all these pages, by the way, yeah, I mean, they work, man. They talk about whatever it was we wanted it to talk about. Okay. And everything about it is the stuff that we need to say. Okay. And Google's accepting it. And so this kind of a thing can be sold. A website like this could be sold rapidly to any company before or after ranking it. And it can be sold for a lot. You can sell a website with 1,600 pages that's for a landscaping business to a landscaper in that area easily for $5,000, $8,000. And yet it might have just taken you 2 hours, 3 hours to build the whole thing. Okay? When you can build websites like that and create a page for every keyword like that, then you can flip them on Flippa. You can sell them to people in that geo-targeted area if it's geo-targeted. Or you can put together a huge program for an MLM guy and offer it to them. We watched a couple of guys go out and they took some MLM program where the guy had 10,000 downline. And they said, hey, all your pages have a replicated web page, right? All your guys have a replicated page. You can't show up in Google and get anywhere. So let's create a Mooji run on your site for your stuff. And we're going to allow your guys to buy the pages in stacks of 100 pages, 1,000 pages at a crack at a buck each, in stacks of 100 or 1,000. So they did it. They created a huge Mooji run, ran it all out on the site, and then they launched a webinar with the MLM program owner. And the program owner did most of the talking and just simply asked the technical guy a couple of questions about, are the pages connected? How, do they show up for different things? How do you see how many pages there are on Google? And the guy was able to say, well, here, let's take a look here. And of course, you see sitemap links, and beyond sitemap links, here's the point, da, 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 da. And they sold $40,000 worth in the first, 2 or 3 days. That's the money that came in from that webinar, okay? And they split it. They're like 20 grand each from that webinar, and then there was more sales coming in anyway that just kept coming in because they recorded the webinar. They put it out and just kept selling it. How's that sound? Or how's it sound to create a website similar to Roto-Rooter in strength and offer it to anyone that would love to pick up more strength and compete at a national level in any industry where they'd love to have that kind of a thing working for them? Okay. That's the kind of power that we're going to be talking about in our next webinars. So if you want to get on that, get the mowg-pro software primary license, or go further if you want to start off with a perfectly finished run of your own to see how it works. You can make this about anything you want. You want us to do that first one for the first MLM program for you? We can do it. Do you want us to do it for a particular industry you would like? We can do it. You can sell shutters and blinds nationwide if that's your thing. You can sell training systems, weight loss pills, whatever it is you want. Okay, do it before August 18th and you'll save $500. Sorry to everyone else who sees the video after this, but everything is growing and getting stronger all the time. If you want to learn more about the T2H admin panel, you can click here. Okay, other than that, get in, get going, because we're getting into new territory that's far exceeding all the small stuff anyone's ever thought about before. Is we're talking about doing huge productions for big companies that are willing to drop a lot of money for things that are becoming push button easy. Anyone not know how easy it is yet? Just hasn't looked. If you go here, okay, this is the training topics. Okay, teaches you how to set up a domain and use FTP. That's very, very easy. Okay, then we just talk about some updates, and then we walk you through a process that does exactly the big thing we're going to do. The whole compete with Roto-Rooter level size sites. Not that we're directly competing with Roto-Rooter. I'm not putting out a flag at them. But the fact of the matter is you can now make sites that size, that strong, with even better looking pages. Okay? And things to help newbies get rolling, just so you understand. Okay? We took, and then stuff you may just never have thought about before. Everything from a whole full-scale training course on starting with keyboard shortcuts, through how to create batch files, through how to train yourself. Okay, that's long. This is 40 hours. You don't need that unless you want it. But there are people who've watched this clean through and they're absolutely happy they did, because they know so much more than they ever did before. This is like going to a university level course for a whole semester. Okay, and there's just other stuff you can use. But the reality check is, by the time you get done with this, okay, you know so much you won't believe it. All right, absolutely powerful. In the meantime, I'll tell you what, get in, and if you just get through this much, okay, even if you needed this, all right, it'll take you about 5 hours, I think, total, okay, 5 or 6 maybe, and you will know how to create those massive websites that we're talking about. And you will have the tools if you get them. And when you join a webinar with us and we start talking about what we can do at this big level, that's interesting. We can even take people and start to assign them in groups, kind of like workout partners, to start doing some of this stuff. It can be huge. Okay, so get in, get going. Absolutely enjoy getting in and getting going. And again, the way to find it is just go to mowg-pro.com, scroll down, and hit the button for Do It Yourself, Own Mooji. You click, there you go. And this is the page with the options. And again, get the mowg-pro software, or go the next step up and get the full-scale themed HTML website with the MM panel at wholesale, complete with your entire production being done for you. Okay? And that way you can already start off with something you want to replicate at a big level, at a, could be franchise level. All right? Okay. Hope you found this interesting, and looking forward to seeing you on the other side and working with you. All right.